Hello guys, I'm Dustin Davis and welcome to the channel. Here you'll find everything you need to know about the Bears. Chicago's front office faces decisions that will shape the franchise for years to come. After a season marked by flashes of promise and familiar frustrations, the organization must now determine whether its current trajectory points toward genuine contention or requires bolder adjustments. Leadership understands that windows close quickly in today's NFL, and the choices made this offseason will reveal how seriously they view their championship timeline. Internal conversations have grown more urgent as the coaching staff evaluates whether the existing roster composition can support sustained success. Talent alone doesn't guarantee results. Scheme fit, financial flexibility, and developmental alignment all factor into whether a rebuild transitions into a competitive window. The Bears possess pieces worth building around, but questions persist about whether those pieces fit together or require reconfiguration. Let's examine the key developments in Chicago that are positioning the franchise for a Super Bowl run. Firstly, can I ask for your help? Just leave a like. So many of you watch us daily and forget that thumbs up. It's a humble way to support and helps more than you know. Thanks a lot. Chicago delivered an unlikely overtime win against Green Bay, pushing their record to 11-5 and extending their NFC North advantage to 1.5 games. What appeared to be a comfortable Packers victory through 3 quarters dissolved into a frantic fourth-quarter surge that forced extra time and ultimately produced a Chicago triumph. Caleb Williams' stat line wasn't flawless, but his execution in critical moments defined the outcome. He directed all 3 fourth-quarter scoring sequences and managed the overtime drive that ended with the winning play. His pair of crucial touchdown connections, the tying throw to Walker and the overtime strike to Moore, demonstrated composure under pressure. His final numbers, 19 completions on 34 attempts for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, and a 98.9 passer rating. Statistics elevated by their timing and context. DJ Moore hasn't produced elite-level receiving totals this season compared to the league's top performers, but he's finally part of a winning situation and delivered when Chicago needed him most. With Rome Odunze and Luther Burden III out due to injuries, Moore embraced expanded responsibilities, absorbed the late hit from Keesay Nixon, and re-entered the game. He led Chicago's receivers with 5 receptions for 97 yards and provided the signature moment, a 46-yard overtime touchdown catch from Williams that sealed the victory. Cairo Santos has drawn questions about his leg strength throughout the year, but he's consistently delivered in pressure situations. Against Green Bay, he essentially carried the offense for long stretches, converting 3 field goal tries, including a 51-yarder into challenging wind conditions at Soldier Field, while adding his only extra point attempt. Had Williams not found more in overtime, Santos would likely have faced a game-winning kick opportunity, and his track record this season suggested he'd have converted. Shifting our focus to the divisional chess match, one Green Bay defender has quietly caught the attention of Chicago's front office. If Chicago could acquire one defensive asset from Green Bay, which player offers both immediate impact and long-term value? The most devastating blow for the Packers was losing all-pro edge rusher Micah Parsons to a torn ACL, an injury that fundamentally reshapes Green Bay's defensive identity and forces remaining defenders into expanded responsibilities. Despite Parsons' absence, Green Bay retains several impact players, and the target the Bears could bring to the roster is linebacker Edgerrin Cooper, a 2024 second-round pick who has become a reliable and consistent contributor. During the Week 14 matchup with Chicago, Cooper led Green Bay with 11 tackles and has already surpassed his rookie-year production. As a first-year player, he posted 3.5 sacks and 87 total tackles. This season, he's compiled 105 tackles across 14 contests, but recorded just 0.5 sacks. Considering Chicago's own linebacker difficulties this season, Cooper would provide instant depth and quality, particularly during periods when veterans TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds were expected to miss action. Chicago has received solid efforts from DeMarco Jackson and Amen Ogbongbemiga, but incorporating Cooper would eliminate any remaining concerns about starter-caliber play in Dennis Allen's system. Combining Cooper with Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edmonds would establish a linebacker unit designed for coverage and tackle volume, with genuine potential for each starter to reach 100-plus tackles annually. Green Bay appears to have discovered a gem with their second-round pick from Texas A&M last year, and Cooper profiles as a multi-year starter who would integrate effortlessly into a Bears defense seeking reliable producers.
On the offensive side of the equation, a different kind of acquisition could unlock the Bears' ceiling in ways few expect. Chicago's Ben Johnson era has shown promising glimpses, but sustained contention requires an offense designed to protect and enhance Caleb Williams, not simply surround him with capable players. As the Bears chart a realistic, high-ceiling path toward 2026, acquiring a truly explosive, budget-friendly back like Achane would represent a calculated, low-risk approach to compress that timeline. The case is tactical, financial, and organizational. Achane's skill set extends play-action effectiveness, expands pre-snap formations, and enables GM Ryan Poles to commit the roster to winning without sacrificing future flexibility. A featured runner who attacks the perimeter in outside zone and speed schemes, remains effective on passing downs, and generates mismatched scenarios on early downs, provides a Williams-centered offense the structural advantage necessary to convert high-variance aerial concepts into reliable victories. Achane is a compact, explosively quick runner who already functions as a legitimate receiving weapon from the backfield. Throughout his early career, he's maintained substantial snap counts while producing both as a rusher and route runner. His route frequency and receiving production rank among the league's most utilized pass-catching backs, characteristics that immediately add versatility and cleaner progressions for a quarterback who benefits from pre- and post-snap spacing. Achane's on-field resume extends beyond highlight plays. His efficiency metrics and snap rates demonstrate consistent usage rather than situational gimmickry. Equally significant for Poles' construction, Achane's short-term cap figure sits around $1.4 to $1.5 million, a number that maintains salary flexibility to secure a starter-quality back without jeopardizing the capacity to extend or invest in Caleb Williams down the line. That financial profile transforms a premium athletic acquisition into a minimal-risk, maximum-upside transaction. Ben Johnson's offensive approach maximizes a runner who 1. Threatens the perimeter in outside zone and speed schemes, 2. Carries route tree responsibilities that pull linebackers away from the box, and 3. Exploits running lanes to maintain play-calling balance. Achane's burst compels second-level defenders to honor outside and lateral movement. His receiving ability demands coverage attention during passing situations. Incorporating the dual-threat back similar to Jahmyr Gibbs centers on matchup creation as much as total yardage. Gibbs' deployment in recent seasons illustrated how consistent receiving involvement paired with efficient rushing can alter defensive priorities drive to drive. Achane presents a comparable cost-benefit ratio of explosive runs and reliable route work, the type of player who transforms crowded boxes into single-high coverages across multiple possessions, producing simpler reads and higher percentage throws for a young quarterback. Poles has previously demonstrated willingness to accelerate roster improvement with mid-round draft capital and depth pieces rather than surrendering premium selections or long-term salary commitments. A realistic 2026 acquisition framework would combine a backup running back and a second or third round pick to secure Achane while preserving long-term draft assets. Securing Achane would represent a defining front office statement that communicates strategic clarity, accelerate the franchise quarterback window in a financially prudent, scheme-compatible fashion. It's the caliber of visible, high-value transaction that shifts a rebuilding perception into a competing now reality, without compromising future flexibility. Yet there's an even bolder scenario on the table, one that involves moving an established veteran to bring in a proven all-pro playmaker. If the Bears choose to convert veteran assets into ceiling-raising talent, exchanging DJ Moore in draft compensation for an all-pro receiver represents a credible strategy that could accelerate the path to contention. Moore's output this year has fallen short of his career benchmarks, but he remains a proven top-tier receiver, who at 29 in 2026 would still provide substantial value to potential contenders. Multiple evaluators and national media members have characterized Moore as a possible trade candidate this cycle, and league sources have likewise identified A.J. Brown among the offseason names generating significant interest. One intriguing structure dispatched Moore and a fourth-round selection, currently number 131, to the Philadelphia Philadelphia Eagles in return for A.J. Brown. Brown has appeared repeatedly in offseason trade speculation and is extensively cited by insiders as one of the league's most compelling potential trade targets. He's a multi-year All-Pro who, despite schematic tensions this season, remains among the NFL's most dependable downfield threats and would immediately assume a W1 function in Chicago's offense. Both players possess impressive production histories. Moore has surpassed 1,000 receiving yards 4 times, while Brown has exceeded that threshold 5 times and collected multiple All-Pro selections. The fundamental difference is context. Moore's visible moments of sideline frustration and the Bears' evolving offensive approach under Ben Johnson have prompted questions about long-term compatibility, while Brown's function in Philadelphia's system has generated external trade discussion. A swap could provide both players refreshed environments where their abilities are maximized. The primary obstacle is contract structure. Moore is locked into a 4-year, $110 million extension with substantial guarantees, a framework that complicates trade logistics but also generates meaningful cap relief if moved with a post-June 1 designation. That designation could liberate approximately $24.5 million in annual cap space over the next 4 seasons, but the front office must evaluate whether that room is better allocated toward pass rush or an elite left tackle. Chicago's draft assets, 3 selections inside the top 91, provide roster flexibility to address defensive weaknesses rather than using cap space exclusively to replace incoming offensive talent. If Chicago prioritizes maximizing Williams' growth in 2026, exchanging Moore and a mid-round pick for an all-pro like Brown is structurally sound. It redirects resources into immediate offensive ceiling-raising talent while maintaining draft pathways to reinforce the defense. For a front office seeking to transition from rebuilding to authentic contention, a carefully designed Moore for Brown trade is the type of high-risk, high-reward maneuver that could reshape the team's trajectory. Would you pull the trigger on a DJ Moore for AJ Brown trade? Or is that too risky given the cap implications? Do you think Brown's all-pro talent would elevate this offense enough to justify moving Moore? Or should Chicago stick with what they have and invest that money in the defense? Is Achane the kind of explosive playmaker that would unlock Ben Johnson's full offensive scheme? Or is this just hype around another speedy back? Would you be comfortable giving up a 2nd or 3rd round pick plus a depth player to land him? Or is that too steep a price to pay? Leave a comment telling us which move you would do if you were Ryan Pohl. Support the channel by leaving a like and subscribing. Stay one step ahead with all the latest on Bears. See you in the next one.